Right now, there is a crisis that no one is talking about. And it's taking the lives of fathers, brothers, sons, uncles, nephews. Way too soon. Way too soon. And the statistics are actually staggering. Men on average are living 5 years less than women. They are accounting for 75% of all suicides. And heart disease is the leading silent killer. Now, the scariest part of this, the worst part of this, is that most of these early deaths are mostly preventable. But men aren't really given the tools they need to fight back. But let me just pause for a second and ask you, do you know where your health stands? Have you done a stress test to see how healthy your heart is? You know, are you talking to people about your mental and emotional health? We're gonna dive more into that. But in essence, are you doing everything you can to live stronger, live longer, live better, and have a more fulfilling life? Or are you kind of just hoping for the best? In this video today, we're gonna be talking about why men's health is such an issue and why no one's really talking about it. Why is it not a more prevalent theme in our communities? And most importantly, what you can do to change it. So if you care about your future, if you have a father, son, brother who you care about as well, this might be the most important video you watch all year. So let's jump right into it. Why exactly are men dying younger and suffering in silence? And we're gonna kind of start the conversation around the subject of why men on average are living 5 years less than women. 5 years. Do you guys ever like pause and just like think about why that is? You know, I have the scope of being a men's health coach for the last decade or so, and I have hundreds of conversations with guys every week. And there's a common theme that I noticed. And it ties into what the culture, what our society kind of deems appropriate for men, which is go out and be productive, go work and make money. Everything else is not even like considered. The value of a man in this society is how productive he is. Now I understand why it is that way. However, at the same time, we are so much more than that. So if you look back at history, yes, men have always been the one to go out and hunt and kill. These days we don't hunt and kill anymore. So we go out and work a job, right? And the worst part of it is that job could replace you in a second, could two shits about you. And we put everything on the backs of where we work, right? Even though that's really a risky thing. So anyway, I'm going off topic. The real thing here is that we are so much more than what we bring into the bank account. We are stability. We have more times than not that emotional stability to make the right decisions for the family, right? Now, in my conversations with men, I've noticed that a lot of us are not taking care of ourselves, period. Like, I want to say most men do not take care of themselves. They don't take care of their hygiene as well as they could. They don't take care of their mental state as well as they could. They don't take care of their emotional state as well as they could. They don't take care of their physical health as well as they could. So there's a lot of variables at play to why we're not living longer, more quality, more fulfilling lives. And, you know, when we consider the lifespan of someone, ideally it's spending good time around the people we care and love about. But if you're sick and have a bunch of ailments, medical issues, taking a bunch of pills, you know, you're not really living the best way you could. Your body wasn't meant to take a bunch of pills. But that then ties into what the lifestyle is like, right? Are you at least walking a mile a day? Little things like that. Do you have a decent intake nutritionally, your protein, carbs, fats, but also your vitamins and minerals? Are you drinking enough water? I could have a whole conversation on the health side, the physical health, but at the same time, there's also the lack of communication. The men tend to be very isolated, and that's kind of where that other statistic of 75% of all suicides being men. And that's because we don't feel like we have anyone to go to, anyone to talk to, anyone to lean on. More times than not, we're in this world really by ourselves. And I forget who the comedian was who said it. It might have been Dave Chappelle or someone. There's like, men don't get unconditional love. Women and puppies do, right? Men get very conditional love. You do this for me and then I'll love you, which is kind of fucked up. Because again, we're so much more than that, you know? But society, at least in America, the American culture pushes it. I want you to imagine losing precious years from the time that you spend with people you care about. Whether you're a father and you have kids, whether you're a brother and you have siblings, or you have a father. Just imagine for a second losing time. Like, you have time right now. If these people are in your life, you know how much they could mean to you. Right now, imagine you didn't have that. Right? Doesn't that scare you a little bit? Doesn't that make you want to do better for yourself? Because at the end of the day, it's not even just for you. And this is what I tell a lot of my guys. I'm like, you got to be healthy for your family, for your loved ones, for your friends. Like, you have to be healthy, because if you're not really there for anyone. You know, if you're dealing with, I could go down a list of, you know, ailments that come from poor lifestyle choices, but at the end of the day, we are supposed to live life as fully as possible. And you can't do that when you can't even go up a flight of steps, when you can't touch your toes, when you make noise getting up and out of the couch, right? Like, those little things, they're the signs. These are their signs. And I think I'm gonna kind of tie this all around to us just being more aware of ourselves and the people around us. Are they showing the signs of someone who's not living optimally? You know, based off the statistics, most likely yes, right? And so I genuinely always say that you deserve the best, period. Blanket statement. You deserve the best. King, you deserve the best. However, you have to treat yourself the best and allow the synchronicity of your energetic vibrations to kind of match everything else around you. So, like, are you being cheap all the time with yourself? And this is a big thing in our culture. A lot of guys don't really want to take care of themselves. They're very tight pocket with themselves, but they'll go out and buy a TV. They'll go and get a car. But when it's like, hey, you need to go and invest in your health, it's like, wait, what? I don't have money for that. There is good news. There are very specific strategies that can be implemented to make sure that we are staying ahead of the curve, staying ahead of the ball, really. So, for example, the simple strategies would be, one, actually getting screening early. Like, go have a relationship with your medical provider, your doctor, right? And I guess that's another topic in itself. A lot of us don't like going to the doctors. We don't want to hear all the things that's wrong with us. But it's like, if you did all the things that's good for you, you wouldn't have anything wrong with you. But I digress. So you have the screening. There's gonna really just being communicative, right? Discussing these things openly. Give there a safe space for people to discuss what they got going on mentally, physically, emotionally, because that's probably the main issue. We suffer in silence because there's no one to really discuss these issues with, or at least we feel like there isn't, but there are. And you'd be surprised if it's man to man. You guys would be surprised how much the other guy will relate, because 9 times out of 10 he's struggling with his own thing. You know, it is a tough world that we live in. Even with all the nuances, all the conveniences in the world, it's still tough because the environment is ever changing, especially here in America. Not to go too much on a tangent, but like, from a big part of our, you know, how we view ourselves is our relationships. And as you guys probably already know, divorce rates are at an all-time high. It's kind of been that way. And that's really a huge crippling thing for men, because I arguably would say that the person you marry is the single biggest decision in your life. Again, this topic is not about relationships, but I know, having had conversations with hundreds of men who've gone through divorce, lost their house, lost their relationship with their kids, lost half their income, lost the business, XYZ. I've had my own experiences around it. It's tough. And then it's like, there's no one for us to really like lean on. We gotta like pull our pants up and like just push through. And that's kind of the essence of man. Just push through, just handle it, man up. And it's like, well, damn, I'm just a person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can only deal with so much at a time. But then that kind of turns into that other side of it, right? Where it's like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm over it. I'm done with it. This is bullshit. I can't stand it, you know? So we need to find a happy, healthy balance with all of that. And then, so you have the screening, you have the discussion openly. And then one that a lot of people don't really discuss too much is really trying to find communities. You know, they do have mental health spaces that, you know, for all different income budget levels, where you can be around people who are going through similar things. Very helpful. And then the last part, really the one that I kind of focus on, is being proactive with your health, with your fitness, because the way I see it is your physical body is the first level, right? It is the base level. Then you have your emotional and spiritual body to go on up and higher above that. But the physical body's first. Is what you live in. It's the vessel. It's like you drive a car, but you are not the car. I'm gonna say it again. You drive a car, but you are not the car. You live in your body, but you are not your body. But at the end of the day, you live in a busted up body. Imagine driving around in a 90 Toyota where the brakes squeal every time and it misfires, and you got all these other issues with the engine. The check engine light is on. It's been on for months and years. The fuel gauge is XYZ. It's gonna make your experience shit, right? The speaker rattles, and you know what I mean? Like, so a lot of you guys are treating your body like it's an old busted up car, or allowing it to be that way, when it should be a high-end vehicle, because your body has technology that the scientists still don't really fully understand. And that kind of brings to the other part of us not valuing our experiences and ourselves and our bodies as much as we should. And that's a whole nother topic in itself. So get screening, talk to people openly, join a community, and of course be proactive. And then lastly, just don't allow statistics to kind of dictate what we do within our communities. So I challenge you, listener, if you made it this far, don't allow your silence to be deadly, either for yourself or someone else who you have no idea what they're going through. Reach out to your brothers, reach out to your people. Just hit them up, like, hey, what's up? Let's catch a drink. Let's go shoot some hoops. Let's hit the gym. That little thing could telling you guys, and I'm saying this with such conviction because I talk to guys all the time, and I hear all the stories. People, for some reason, feel really comfortable opening up to me about what they got going on, being like, and I'm just going really quick, from I lost my job, girlfriend left, I'm homeless, I'm impotent, I can't get an erection, I don't have any girlfriends, I haven't had a date and whatever. There's so many things that guys are going through. We need to step it up in terms of how we handle it. I'm not saying just man up and push through it, but in essence, bring it to the forefront, bring it to your level of awareness where you can then be proactive about it, kind of notice the changes, notice the benefits of being proactive, right? So again, I hope this message kind of hits home for you. I'd love to hear what you think. If you can relate to it in any way, just put it in the comments. If you have any questions, I want to create a safe space. I'm working on creating a WhatsApp group so that we can kind of discuss things and just be proactive together. So, I am specializing in the physical health. However, I am an advocate for overall health. Physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, financially, every aspect you should balance it all out. So in the next video, we'll dive deeper into more actionable solutions and steps that you can take. But till then, stay well, message those people who you know. Until next time, let's raise the bar.